Hey, Shalom, Kahala, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Yahudash, the one of the apostles of great millstone, rule well. Shalom, you brothers in the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully, and continually fighting that good fight of faith. Lord willing, we're finding that number to be delivered. And likewise, some of you sisters who truly trust and believe in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, may He find you worthy as well. All right. So this lesson is was inspired by the trip I took to the store, a couple hours back. And when I went in there, as I always do, the place is getting emptier and emptier, man. The shelves are being wiped clean. Now, granted, there's a snowstorm coming this way. It should be coming tonight, 5, 6 o'clock. But all that being said, these store shelves are naked, all right? And it's just a testament to what's to come. A lot of you people don't have the vision or the ability to see what's happening, okay? And because of that, you have no worries. You have no thoughts of, what to do next. Because you believe that everything's going to be back to normal, all right? And what you need to really take into consideration is the fact that in the past 10, 15 years, every president that has been in office, things have gotten worse, man. So this doesn't fare too well in the event of these upcoming so-called new elections, man. It's gonna get worse. You people thought as soon as Sleepy Joe got in there that he was gonna be the Lord and Savior himself, man. But all that being said, the time is coming where there's going to be no food left. All right? And once again, that's a major prophecy because the Lord spoke about famines. All right? So we're going to go to 2 Ezra 15 and 19. It says, A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and great tribulation. All right? The old term, bread stands for food. Lack of bread. So it's going to be a lack of food out there. And it's happening. And if you haven't prepared yourself, those outside of this thing of ours, if you haven't prepared yourself and stocked up, you're going to be asked out. And this is exactly why the scripture says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, because the men that this is speaking of are going to be those men who don't have the capability of buying food, who don't have the capability of bartering, with whatever they have, because that time is coming back as well, where you're going to have to barter to get goods and services, man. Now, for you women out there, you have a natural commodity that most men want, you see, which is your body. When you go back and look at the time of trouble during the past few years with Venezuela, you had doctors, so-called professional people, resorting to prostitution, resorting to brothel type style, work, if you will. One woman who had a doctorate degree, a master's degree, who was a doctor herself, had said, she's brought herself down to to a new low. But in order for her to feed her family, she has to do what she has to do. Okay? So don't get it twisted, man. You people think, if times get tough, you're just gonna stick it out and grind it out. No. When times get tough, you're going to realize it's only going to get tougher. And you're going to do what you need to do, whether you have to take somebody's life, whether you have to sell your ass, all right? And whatever method of survival that you may have to, resort to. But the time is coming because of the lack of bread. There's going to be great tribulation, man. There's going to be great hell right here in America. I'm not talking about worldwide, because worldwide it has already started. You see, the elites of the world and the elitists of the world, all right, they are planning and strategically putting the pieces of the puzzle in place. Now these pieces just need to be pushed together. You see? And them, like I said before in another video, them putting the chokehold on you, slowly but surely tightening the noose. Okay? This noose that I'm speaking of is tightening, but you don't realize it because it's a slow process. But as it gets closer and closer and it draws tighter and tighter, then you're going to realize, well, shit, I think I might be in trouble here. Right? The shelves are empty. The stores have no consistent truck deliveries. And then when you look on, you watch the news, and you look at all these highways and byways and these big collisions and these trucks all tipped over and flipped over and bashed in, a big pile up. All right. Roads are shutting down. Certain roads are just totally out of commission. Bridges, collapsing. Nothing's by coincidence, man. Not one damn thing is by coincidence. Okay? This is on a site called drgnnews.com. It says, prices of food expected to continue to climb in 2022. Right? Now, with the unemployment going on, with the exhausting of unemployment benefits, what's a man going to be left to do, man? Food continue to rise. Shit, there may be food, but you may not have access to it. And ultimately, when they implement the chip, right? That's where it's really gonna come into effect, man. But right now, they're slowly grooming you to accept these things, to accept there's going to be lack of food, to accept there's going to be a minimal, that a person can purchase. All right, this article is dated January 11th, 2022 at 8:40 a.m. It says the new year 2022 will see inflation rates that will continue to impact the food industry and cause prices to rise at grocery stores across the country. Research firm IRI says food prices are estimated to rise by 5% during the first half of 2022. All right? So we are in the first half of 2022. And every time you turn on the news, it talks about the prices of meats going up, the prices of, certain types of, grains going up. But meanwhile, your paycheck still remains the same if you're getting a paycheck at all. And like I said, the time is going to come, irrational minds are going to do irrational things. Because there's going to be no food, because there's going to be no ability to obtain that food. All right? It says, however, the level of the increase will depend on each grocery store and its location. The IRI report says price increases are showing up in everyday items like breakfast meats, frozen poultry, pet food. Prices of produce like potatoes, celery are expected to increase because of high freight costs. All right? So no matter how you look at this, man, it's going to be bad, man, for a lot of people. It's going to be bad for everybody. For everybody. All right? Not just those who are seeking government assistance. All right? because they got you from Esau got you from every angle, man. Every goddamn angle he got you, especially those who are on government assistance. It's gonna make it that much more easier for him to implement this chip into you people, because you depend on him. You need Esau. You love Esau. Esau is your God. So when he comes down talking about you got to take this device, you got to take it, you ain't going to have no problems taking it. And if you do have a problem, Esau is going to give you the ultimatum. Oh, well, by the way, if you refuse to take this thing, then unfortunately we're going to have to take away your ability to buy and sell. You see? So for you people out there, man, who just decide that you're going to just wait it out, wait the storm out, and that's another thing that Esau likes to do. When they're telling you there's a hurricane coming or a tornado coming, and Esau goes around with his loudspeaker, please evacuate the place, but you're going to have a handful of Edomites talking about we're going to ride it out. And then after the fucking storm passes, the house is obliterated. The fucking occupants that were in the house are, scattered about the land because that shit took them out. Maybe one, maybe two may survive. And then when they get on the camera, we should have left. We should have listened. But it's too late, man. Likewise, when we're out here pushing this word, you should have listened. You should have taken action. But the time is drawing near where it's going to be too goddamn late, man. Too late. Lamentations 4:9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. All right? Now ask yourself, we're talking about two types of people here, two manners of death. All right? At the end of the day, they both come to the same conclusion, which is death. But one method is better than the other method. You see? So if you're slain with the sword, you have the so-called upper hand on those who are slain by hunger. Because what's worse? Being slain by hunger, because hunger is a very slow process. All right, your body will start to eat itself, okay, before you succumb to any major starvation. Right? It says, for these pine away, stricken through the want of fruits of the field. That time's going to come where you're going to want these things. You're going to desire to have an apple, desire to have a piece of fruit or some nuts or whatever the case may be. Right? You people don't want to listen, man. You don't want to listen to the prophets and the servants of the Lord from the head apostles on down. You don't want to listen, but that's fine. Because the Lord is going to put you in remembrance. Whatever calamity that comes upon you, He's going to make sure you recall the day when you heard the prophets, you saw the prophets, you walked by the prophets, you may have even mocked the prophets. The Lord's going to put that back in your mind in that time, and you are going to be ashamed. You're going to be sorry. Okay? So what we got going on here, man, is serious business. Matter of fact, let me open this up and read down a little bit. Let me go to verse 10. Verse 10 says, the hands of the pitiful woman have sodden their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughters of my people. All right? So this happened to Israel at some point in time. All right? And here we are, 2022, the month of January is just about done in a day or so. You got all these women who are depending upon Esau for safety, for security, for food, for everything you can possibly imagine. And then you're going to have some of those women who truly believe in not taking any type of, venom that Esau has to offer. But they're going to find themselves in pitiful case. And they're going to resort back to, as the women of old, having to sodden their children. All right? And if you truly understand and believe the scriptures, the Lord is bringing all these things back full circle during the time when he was taken up, man. Just look at the chain of events that were going on back then to the things that are going on right now. So food, hunger, starvation, This is the BBC News. The heading of this article is Food Firms Warn of Product Shortages if CO2 Deal Not Agreed. And you're talking about the CO2 gases, And that's another thing that, is just totally insane here in this country. The amount of food that is wasted from off these shelves. They package them and they look nice and pretty, but as soon as those expiration dates roll around, now some of these stores get slick and repackage shit with a different label on it. But some of them have no problem with throwing that shit in a bucket or a barrel and just hauling it off to the damn landfill. Okay? So this was just a quick hit. Like I said, I went to that grocery store and these goddamn shelves were fucking empty, man. Empty. And every time this happens, I think about that movie Contagion, the Book of Eli, War of the Worlds, where people are just losing their minds trying to, get whatever little bit of food they can get, man. So, this time that is coming, we gotta measure it diligently, and being men of the Lord, man. Even at the same time, we trust in and believe in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But that doesn't mean that we should be totally exempt from, self-help, meaning going out, maybe you get a couple cases of water, maybe you might get a couple, boxes of, dry food or whatever the case may be. Just because you do something like that, that don't mean you're a man of the Lord. That don't mean you don't trust in the Lord. All right? We ought to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. If the Spirit moves you to grab a couple things, then that's how the Spirit is going to move you. And don't get it twisted, man. Don't get it twisted. We ought to fight. We got to fight for ourselves as well as trusting and truly believing in the Lord of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? So with that, I'm going to end it right there. Lord willing, brothers edified. And I'll see you on another show. I say shalom.